What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam, I hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight. I hope you guys have just had the greatest Saturday of your entire life, and hopefully you're going to be ending the greatest Saturday of your entire life here on tonight's stream, because I hope you guys are ready for a 2023 fantasy football draft. We are hopping into Underdog's Weekly Winners, my favorite contest of all frickin' time. Any best ball format that has ever existed. Sorry, I just completely punched my mic because I'm so excited. But seriously, Weekly Winners has been my favorite contest so far throughout the offseason. I think like any offseason ever. So yeah, let's hop into it. I'll give it a couple minutes here, see if any of you guys want to hop in with me. In the meantime, be sure to hit that like button on the way in. If you guys are new to the channel, thank you for being here. Be sure to subscribe so you have another guy who talks about fantasy football in your algorithm, and maybe I will say something smart that will win you your fantasy leagues, or at least one fantasy matchup on the year. But most importantly, hop in the live chat. Let me know what's popping. Let me know how you guys are doing. Any NFL topics you guys want to go over, any fantasy football topics, redraft, dynasty, or best ball, let me know. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to talk some fantasy football. All right. Let's see who's in the live chat. Chase Brown. What's up, my guy? J-Dubs. What's up? Hope everyone's doing fan-frickin-tastic tonight. Okay. It's 11:20 p.m. Eastern time. We're hopping in. The lobby's basically already filled. So, if you guys aren't familiar with the Weekly Winner Tournament, I mean, you're basically just building a best ball team. Okay, it's still a best ball tournament. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 quarterback, 1 tight end, 1 flex, 10 players on the bench. Okay, but we are not playing for the entire season, right? You're drafting a team, no management throughout the year, all that good stuff, right? But you're going to go through week 1, and you could place 350th overall, and then your points reset to 0. Then we're going to go into week 2, and you might place 3rd overall in the entire tournament, which would be really, really good. Okay, so you're winning individual weeks. You're losing individual weeks with the team that you drafted. I just love the idea of this tournament. I think it is a ton of fun. I think the prizes are a lot of fun because, yeah, you can literally go from winning $0 to winning $100 to winning $10,000, you know, each week, right? I mean, the odds there aren't great, but I just like the idea of this, man. So we've been doing a lot of these, and I've been entering a lot behind the scenes as well. But I just get super excited whenever we're able to hop in to these drafts. So it's been like a little bit over a week since I've done one of these live, so it'll be interesting to see how things have shifted. Obviously, ADP is going to be a little bit different with the strategic approach behind this specific tournament, but nonetheless, it's going to be some good practice for you fantasy nerds out there. So let's see what we get into tonight. Thomas, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing fantastic. Kills me to listen but can't join. I say it all the time. Yeah, I know, man. Sooner rather than later, it'll be legal in all states. Yeah, I mean, there we go. Travis Kelce off the board at 1.2. So, I mean, you just don't know what's going to happen in this tournament. I was going to say, if Chase falls here, I will be very, very happy. This is a tough choice because I like the, consistency / upside of Cooper Kupp. I like the same thing with A.J. Brown. C-Mac sitting here just feels like a player who I want to draft in this tournament. But, yeah, I'm going to go A.J. Brown tonight. I'm going to try and go for some very sharp offenses early on. There's a potential that Hurts is there at pick 20, but it's a small. I mean, quarterbacks start to go pretty quick. And it just depends on the draft. I mean, you just don't know what you're going to get. But, yeah, I have a fair amount of exposure to C-Mac and Kupp. I mean, obviously, this is a weekly winner, so I don't have as much exposure. But I want to try and switch it up here, see if I can get some stacks going. J-Dub says in the chat, try a week 3 build. So, this is a good point. we want to kind of look at the schedule coming up and see how things are looking. So, week 3, let's just go off of what J-Dubs is throwing in the chat, right? Giants at Niners, Falcons at Lions, Chargers at Vikings. Yeah, a couple good matchups there. Saints at Packers, Texans at Jags, Broncos at Dolphins, Titans at Browns, Bills, Commanders, Colts, Ravens, Pats, Jets, Panthers, Hawks, Bears, Chiefs, Cowboys, Cardinals, Steelers, Raiders, Eagles, Bucks, Rams, Bengals. Hey, for the heck of it, let's try and follow this. I will probably not do well because, I will get distracted here shortly. But, I mean, hey, Eagles at Bucks sounds pretty good. We're off to a good start, right? So, we will keep week 3 in mind. And, of course, if you want to elaborate any further, please let me know, J-Dubs, what, you're looking at specifically in week 3 moving into the year. Okay. There's your round 1. J.J. Kelsey, Hill, Chase, Brown, C-Mac, Cup, Eckler, Diggs, Bijan, Amon-Ra, and Chubb. So really not too crazy different than what we would potentially see in the first round outside of Chubb. And then Kelsey going so early. I mean, I've seen here and there, like, some argument for Kelsey going in the top 3, but generally over Chubb, obviously we're going to see like a CeeDee Lamb or Garrett Wilson, someone like that. So sometimes Devontae Adams, but overall pretty on par for what you would see. Okay, see, now I'm starting to get worried because I want Hurts. I don't think I'm going to get him. But then I was starting to look at things like, oh, there's a chance. There's still a chance here. Top available players, Adams, Wilson, and Hurts. So typically when I stream and I'm live and I'm talking about players I want in underdog drafts, I don't get them. So I'm just going to prepare for that. There goes Garrett Wilson. I was kind of surprised that Wilson was still around. I mean, like I said, different tournament, different rules, all that stuff. But usually he's a hot commodity these days. Okay, so I don't know who I'm going to draft if I don't get Jalen Hurts. There goes Adams. It's all up to Orlando 20. He might try and snipe me. Chase says, yeah, hey, maybe late I'll draft Chase Brown, but not this early. Oh, man. I mean, yeah, I don't. Maybe I'll go Waddle here and just go heavy wide receiver to start. Okay, yeah. I mean, I just had to start to speak it into existence. So we're going to start off with a stack. I like it. Hurts and Brown. So now we probably want to deviate a little bit away from the Eagles offense. They're still going to be very, very good this year, but you don't want to overexpose yourself to an offense that performed well the last year. I mean, to a degree, right? But you just don't want to get overexposure. So Devonta Smith very well could be here at pick 29, but it's also kind of a slim chance. So one thing that I toyed around with last weekly winners was drafting 2 quarterbacks early. And I still like that idea. Like, if I can start with Hurts and Justin Fields, I think that just brings a tremendous amount of weekly upside. And plus, you're just kind of safe at quarterback throughout the year. So I just want to make sure they don't have the same bye week. No. Fields on bye week 13. And there goes Burrow. So, now, I mean, it's going to be close here. We've got 2 teams behind me with no quarterback. And even the team with Lamar Jackson could still go quarterback here as well. But that will leave Herbert and Trevor Lawrence and Tua time available. So there goes Stevenson. I'd say, yeah, it's Fields or Devonta Smith here. But we already talked about overexposure, so let's go Justin Fields. I just like this strategy. Now I don't really have to worry about quarterback for the rest of the draft. We have 2 of the top quarterbacks who bring that rushing upside to the table on our team. That could certainly allow for some large points throughout the season. And plus, they kind of protect each other in terms of if one or the other does get hurt this year. So I like starting that way. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let's look at week 3 for the Bears. They're playing the Chiefs. Could be a heavy scoring game. Yeah, this is an interesting week that you told us to look at tonight, J-Dubs. All right, Taylor, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Hello, hello. Love the AJ pick. Yeah, man. I mean, a little bit early against ADP, Cup, Eckler, C-Mac there, Bijan there. I mean, Bijan's ADP is what it is, but for me, Bijan is still a top 5 pick. I just have a ridiculous amount of exposure to Bijan Robinson right now. I'm trying to deviate just for a little bit. And honestly, I'm surprised that Bijan's ADP still hasn't moved up a little bit. I mean, I know, once again, different tournament with weekly winners, but Bijan is still kind of floating that 1.8 to 1.10 area where, like, I'm still willing to draft Bijan in the top 4, honestly. So we'll see how that unfolds throughout the year. All right, third round wrapping up here. We got Burrow, Stevenson, Andrews, Henry, Fields, Olave Smith, Debo, Hall, Metcalf, Allen, Ridley. So couple ideas for pick 44 and 53. You know, we could just go ahead and knock out running back, but when I look at the available wide receivers, like, I just don't want to. I would rather try and get 2 studs here, including DJ Moore, and get a second stack, and then a player that I really like at pick 53, whether it's Drake London, Brandon Ayuk, or Christian Kirk, and then just start hammering out running backs over the next couple of picks. One kind of struggle I've had so far in this tournament is, when do I draft my tight end? Because I don't want to completely deviate away from the position, but you guys know that generally speaking, I kind of go for later round value with tight end. Cole Kmet, Greg Dulcich, Juwan Johnson, Noah Fant, Evan Ingram, and Njoku, those type of guys, right? I mean, that was a pretty large range there, but those types of players. So I still think in this specific format, though, having a Kittle, having Pitts, having Goddard, having even Waller, T-Hawk, I mean, we could have started that list with T-Hawk, but you know what I'm saying? Like, having that kind of top tier outside of, you know, Andrews and Kelsey, who are obviously paying a high price for, could definitely make a big difference. So, all right, moving up here, we're going to look at wide receiver. Okay, top available running backs: Najee, Mixon, Walker, Jones, Dobbins. Don't get me wrong, I like this tier of running backs. Top available wide receivers: Watson, Williams, McLaurin, DJ Moore, and Drake London. It is tough here. I like Christian Watson a lot, but we're going to build this team specifically off of our stacks. Let's go DJ Moore, and let's move right along. I mean, there's probably going to be some people out there who don't necessarily like that, but I'll take it all day long. I think that's a really fun start. 2 stacks in a row. Then we're going to go wide receiver at pick 53. You know, I don't know. I mean, if Kenneth Walker's there, then it's kind of close, because I really think Kenneth Walker is going to have a fantastic year. But I just think going wide receiver is the better move than at pick 68, like 77 and 92, probably just hammering out running backs, and then just from there getting some good value at tight end, and just adding on to this wide receiver room. So Christian Watson wraps up the 4th round, and into the 5th round we will go. This is going to make it tough, okay? Drake London, Brandon Ayuk, Christian Kirk. I love these names, but if they're gone, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I'll probably go Kenneth Walker, George Kittle, Pitts, Goddard, Waller, all sitting there. After Kirk, we got Hopkins and Lockett as the next top available wide receivers. Running backs: Walker, Jones, Dobbins, Madison, Akers. If you guys are interested, quarterbacks are T-Law, Tua, Watson, Richardson, Prescott. All right, there goes McLaurin. So now we're looking at Drake London or Christian Kirk. There goes Kirk. That's my guy. But I'll take Drake London here all day long. Don't have a problem with that whatsoever. Let's see. Week 3, the Falcons are playing the Lions. That could be a juicy matchup. Let me know in the chat if there's any specific weeks of the year that you guys are specifically looking at. Whether it's, I mean, it's really, we're probably just looking at best ball formats. You know, if you guys are drafting through Underdog or through other best ball formats this year, what specific weeks are you guys targeting overall? We're playing off of week 3 tonight, though, courtesy of J-Dubs. All right, there's your start. Hurts, Fields. Hurts has got Brown. Fields has got Moore. And we got Drake London sprinkled in here. Yeah, I mean, I think Kenneth Walker at 5.6 is just beautiful. It's very, very close there going Walker. But like I said, I think we go wide receiver here. We have 3 wide receivers, obviously 2 quarterbacks, a heavy quarterback build. And now we're going to hammer out some running backs, look for good value at wide receiver and tight end for the rest of the draft. I mean, it just kind of puts you in a comfortable position overall. All right, in the meantime, we are wrapping up our final Dynasty Slow Draft of the year. Single quarterback Dynasty League, right? I feel pretty good about this team. I'm excited at some point this coming week. I mean, we're almost halfway through the 20th round, 22 total rounds. So once we wrap up that draft, I will do a team review stream. And I'm excited to kind of talk about this team and some of the moves I made throughout the draft. I went, don't get me wrong, I had one draft already this year where I went aggressive in a super flex league. I went aggressive in this single quarterback league in terms of trading picks, moving around the board. And I like the way this team has turned out, undoubtedly. All right, 6th round. Our pick is already coming up. So 5th round's wrapped up there. After the London pick, Walker, T-Law, Madison, D-Hop, Kittle, Dobbins, Godwin. Into the 6th, Deontay, Kyle Pitts, Cam Akers off of the board. So we want to go running back here, right? I mean, I don't know. I might go Goddard, honestly. We've been talking about tight end tonight. I might go Goddard, but I just think there are just running backs here. I love this tier of running backs. I just love it. Okay, Sanders and Pierce at the top, but I love Swift. I love Monty. I love Pacheco. I love Rashad White, especially in best ball formats. I mean, these are like the guys that I want. So I'm not going to get all of them. I might as well go out and get 2 of them. Close with Goddard sitting right here, considering that, we already have Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown. But, hey, I guess I could argue for going Swift here as well. Go Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. So, Swift, Monty, Pacheco, White. Out of those running backs who I absolutely love, who do you guys like the best? Or how would you rank them? Let me know in the chat. I think I naturally have to go Swift here, but I really want to go Monty. Let's see. The Lions play Kansas City that week. No. They play the Falcons. I'm going to go Monty. Like I talked about earlier, and I know I was just talking about Goddard. I just want to get 2 incredibly exposed into one offense. So let's go Monty here. Then don't get me wrong, a lot can happen between pick 68 and pick 77. I mean, we see Davis and Tua off the board. But Swift, Pacheco, or White, I'm just hoping we can get one of those guys with our next pick. Chase in the house, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Hello. Hope you're doing fantastic. I just think Monty's going to... I mean, I know everyone, Monty's become a hotter name as the offseason has progressed. Monty's just going to score touchdowns this year. He's going to have that Jamal Williams role. And I think that is going to be something that could bring a lot of value within this specific tournament. All right, this next pick is going to be hard. So, if we go Pacheco, they play the Bears. That could be good. If we go Swifty... the Eagles are playing the Bucks. Okay, run defense. Pass history. If we go White, he's playing the Eagles. I feel like I want to go Pacheco here based on matchups. Is that crazy? No, we're gonna go Pacheco. I mean, that's the thing, right? I love all these guys, okay, for various reasons. But you want to switch up that exposure. And I think it's a good strategy by J-Dubs. I'm excited that you brought that into the discussion tonight to go after a specific week and really target specific matchups, specific games. So I think we're going to roll with that. I think that Chiefs-Bears game could definitely garner some points. Cinnabon, what's up, man? How we doing tonight? Hello. We got Chase Brown and Chase Wellner. in the house. We got both the OG chases of the Catch fam in the house tonight. People might be sleeping a bit on Monty. Yeah, I mean, I do think, you know, his name is starting to heat back up as off seasons progress. But obviously, like, you know, after Gibbs got drafted, like, that's the guy that people want. You know, goes at 4.5 tonight. And Monty's the better value at the end of the day. So I just, listen, it's a very, like, lazy comparison, and a lot of people in the fantasy community have talked about it, but Monty should have that Jamal Williams role and Gibbs should have the Swift role. You know, like, we're just putting different players out there, and David Montgomery is a good running back when healthy, undoubtedly. I don't think anyone's going to dispute that, you know. When we look at him over the years, 3.67 yards per carry in his rookie year, 4.3 following year, 3.7 the year after that, 3.9 the year after that. Actually had his best yards per carry in 2022. And honestly, like, we don't really think of him as a receiving back, but, you know, rookie season, 25 receptions. Since his rookie season, 34 more receptions in every year since. So, you know, he does bring some receiving value to the table, at least 300 receiving yards in the last 3 years. But that's going to be Gibbs' role. Like, we know that. But, yeah, Monty's a good back at the end of the day. And he is definitely more of that kind of bell cow style running back in comparison to Jahmyr Gibbs. All right, we're almost back on the clock, and there is a glimmer of hope. Very, very small. That Rachaad White falls out to us, but it's not going to happen. So now you could throw a dart at James Cook here if you want to go running back. Antonio Gibson is probably the name I like more. We might just go tight end, though. What'd I tell you guys? There goes White. It's a great pick there. I do like Zay Flowers. He is on the thumbnail tonight, so we might have to take him. I don't know. I think right here, like, running back's probably the smartest thing to do, but I think there's also something to be said about just going best available player. So Evan Ingram, Zay Flowers, Elijah Moore at the top of the board. I like all those names a lot. I think they all make sense for this roster. There goes Elijah Moore. Let's take a look. Who do the Jaguars play in week 3? The Texans. Say no more. Evan Ingram, please sign a contract with the Jaguars and play this year. He's going to play, but, like, just do it sooner rather than later. We talked about it earlier in the stream. Let's get a good tight end tonight, okay? Doesn't have to be an absolute stud at the position. Let's just get a good tight end. And, yeah, he plays the Texans, so I feel pretty good about that. So an interesting build so far. 2 quarterbacks, Hurts, Fields. Brown, Moore, London at wide receiver. 2 running backs in Monty and Pacheco. 1 tight end. So, like, we're pretty even par in terms of our roster construction. I think we either just go running back here. Who does Washington play in week 3? We got to do more of this where we're just looking at specific weeks. I like this idea a lot. Play the Bills. I don't know if there goes Gibby anyways. I mean, both the guys we like, Flowers and Gibby, gone. Could go for an ultimate power move and just draft Anthony Richardson and take all of the rushing quarterbacks available. But I don't think I'm going to do that. Let's just look at wide receivers. I think we go Sky Moore with this next pick. Going back to the same matchup. Bears. Chiefs. Week 3. That's my pick. Let's do it. All right, I would love to see Allen Lazard fall out here. They play the Vikings. That's a fun. All right, we got some time till we draft. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Chase, what could you get if you were selling Mike Williams in Superflex Dynasty? I mean, it's so hard to really say. Like, it depends, right? You gotta find a team that needs a wide receiver, but it's all subjective, really, when you're looking at dynasty trades at the end of the day. So you can probably still get pretty good value out of Mike Williams. You know, there's a lot of reason to believe when we look at that offense last year. Williams was hurt at times. Allen was hurt at times. Herbie, fully loaded, was hurt as well. Had some banged up ribs. New offensive coordinator. This offense is going to be better this year. And honestly, Mike Williams was good last year. He just was hurt part of the year, and the offense struggled for all the reasons we just went over, including the lackluster play calling. So, still had 14.2 yards per catch last year, 9.6 yards per touch. That was his highest since 2019. But he is age 28, going into his 7th season, a little bit older, coming off a year where he played 13 games. He's always kind of had that injury bug. Mike Williams a good player, but I don't know if you're going to get top tier value out of him in a trade. Let's see here. Who do you like the best? Asked Jacob. London, Watson, DJ Moore, Godwin, or McLaurin? Whew. I'm a big DJ Moore fan. But it depends on the context. Like if we're talking best ball, dynasty, redraft, all that stuff. Dynasty, I like London the best. Redraft, I probably like DJ Moore the best. I might even like him in best ball as the best as well. No pun intended. But I love Christian Watson. I think Godwin, McLaurin, they're just not going to bring a massive amount of upside. But in full PPR, those guys are going to be very consistent. So it's close there. But I'm just a fan of DJ Moore moving into the season. And probably the guy I like the best overall. But yeah, I would not be sleeping on Drake London right now at all. At all. All right, so who do the Packers play in week 3? The Saints. I kind of like A.J. Dillon here. Who does Miami play? The Broncos, not pretty. How did I just get sniped out of Alan Lazard? All right, let's take some running backs here. I think maybe we just slightly deviate here from our plan. And we just go best available player. Let's go Brian Robinson. Let's see if A-Chain falls out. If not, we might just go best available wide receiver, which is pretty arguable. I mean, Zay Jones, Romeo Doubs, Darnell Mooney, Myers, Nico Collins are your top options. So there are a fair amount of tight ends that I really like right now. I mean, Pat Freiermuth is still available. Greg Dulcich is available. But Cole Kmet's still sneaking around. I do think that Cole Kmet is a player that we need to try and target. It would make a lot of sense for this roster. Okay, there goes A-Chain. So we've got the Bills at the Commanders. At least that's a home game for our boy B-Rob. And let's move into the 11th round. Probably just go wide receiver here. So let's look at matchups here. Giants at Niners. Not really anyone there. Who does Jacksonville play? The Texans, that's right. So I actually like Zay Jones here. I don't know if he's going to fall out, though. I mean, I don't know. We're like 2 picks away. I don't know if fall out's the right term, but you guys get what I mean. So, yeah, I mean, I get it. Calvin Ridley. Oh, Cole Kmet. Bill Burr. Going for some Bears action here. All right, let's go Zay Jones because we do need some wide receiver help. That's probably what we're going to be doing for these remaining picks. Kind of going running back, receiver, and sprinkle another tight end or 2 in there at good value. Greg Dulcich becomes a top target for us. The Broncos play the Dolphins in week 3. I'm telling you guys, whenever I draft on Underdog Live, like as soon as I start naming players and building a queue, they get drafted. Someone's out to get me, man. But Greg Dulcich, a great pick at 11.7. Okay, for me, we kind of drop into a lower tier tight ends now. Like we're looking at like Jawan Johnson, Trey McBride, Noah Fant. Like, we're not even like really looking at matchups here, and like it's kind of tough to call what defenses will be good against opposing tight ends on a yearly basis. Chase, I think Godwin will be sneaky good as always. He'll get you solid points getting short passes. I agree. I think a lot of, easy consistency out of both Godwin and McLaurin when we're looking at that list. Just not a ton of upside. Chase, I kind of wonder what Quinn Johnson will look like for them. Yeah, I think Johnson could have a similar role to kind of what Mike Williams has been doing. The interesting thing is Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, injury bugs as of late, looking at last year. Quinn Johnson could get plenty of opportunities, as could Josh Palmer. If you're looking for a deep dive on a player. But yeah, I think Johnson's going to have a good year, man. Offense is going to be good. Chase, love my wide receivers in Dynasty: Lamb, Waddle, Pittman, Williams. Yeah, I think the trade that you pulled off turned out to be a very good trade for you, man. Happy to see you get Lamb and a quarterback who's startable and Russell Wilson on your respective team. Mike Williams for Judy. We're running a poll. Who would you rather have? Dynasty: Mike Williams, Judy. There you go, Chase. Let the people answer your question. It's Judy's going to win. It depends on what you have to give up with Mike Williams, I suppose. All right, I need a running back here, so we're going to draft a running back. We drafted Jamal Williams. Who the Saints? We've already looked at this. I know we have. Play the Packers. That feels like, hey, that was a good call. Former team. I like that pick. Let's go. Week 3 it is. All right, so the Eagles play the Bucks. Maybe get Kenneth Gainwell late. Algier. Maybe Bijan is taking his time. I don't know. It's probably not going to happen. Yeah, it's not like I typically build a super strong running back room anyways. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more picks. I don't know, man. I just am starting to want a 3 tight end build. Something just bothers me. I thought about going Dalton Schultz there, and I just didn't want to do it. What about Pollard, Mike Williams for Breece Hall? Well, moving on. Pollard, Mike Williams, Zay Jones, a 2024 third, a 2026 second for Hall, Ayuk, and a first. I would probably do that. But I don't know if that's going to get accepted. But I'd probably do it. I think Hall for Pollard is fine. Ayuk for Jones and Williams is fine. And the first for the picks is fine. So, yeah, I think overall I'd probably take that trade. But I don't know if it's going to get accepted. And that's what it boils down to. All right, Rashid Shaheed is my top target here. Going after this Packers-Saints matchup. We need another wide receiver. I'm telling you guys. Okay, on to the next one. The Browns play the Titans. They don't have a secondary. Taking Donovan Peoples-Jones here. Come on, Bill Burr has been sniping us tonight, man. Telling you, every time I stream. All right, Thomas says, go Noah Fant for my Hawks. Seems when he has a good game, they're actually decent. Yeah, I still really like Noah Fant as a late round tight end selection. ADP right now on Underdog's 212. You going to get a lot of upside out of him? No. But I just think, like, he's just perfectly fine. No more, no less. Thomas says Judy for me, and Judy is winning the poll 100%. Doug, what's up, man? Cinnabon, I swear John just likes the players I like. That's literally how I base all of my fantasy takes. Does Senior Cinnabon like this player or not? All right, so we're going to need another running back. I would actually really like Roschon Johnson with my next pick. I guess at some point we do need to take another tight end. I still like Dawson Knox. Like, especially in this type of... Sorry, Algier went and I thought it was Johnson. In this type of format, like, I still think Dawson Knox is going to have some good weeks. Okay? I get it. There is another tight end on this team now. I understand that. I understand they spent pretty heavy draft capital on said tight end. Okay? But I just think that Dalton Kincaid is going to get his, and Dawson Knox is also going to get his. And Dawson Knox still has the chemistry with Josh Allen. So I don't know why I'm defending myself so much. But I just think, like, in this type of format, Dawson Knox is definitely worth considering for those weeks that he potentially booms. He does have the Commanders in week 3. They were very good against opposing tight ends last year. So, but at this point, I don't know how much we need to look at our week 3 matchups as opposed to just, like, we need to draft some good players. So, top available quarterbacks: Carr, Stafford, Love, Kyler, Purdy. Top available running backs: Roschon, Singletary, Jerome Ford, Tajay Spears, Donta Foreman. Top available wide receivers: Pierce, Chark, Reed, Shakir, Mechie. Top available tight ends: Jawan Johnson, Dawson Knox, Gesicki, Conklin, and Ferguson. All right, there goes Kyler. Let's draft Roschon Johnson. Going back to our week 3 matchups. We do like that matchup against the Chiefs. Should be some points out there. In the 14th round, we'll start to wrap up. The Saints play the Packers. We have been kind of looking at this matchup a little bit tonight. So maybe we go Jawan Johnson next. Maybe we go Dawson Knox. I think both are fine. And let's see here. So we're going to get one more tight end. Then we probably go one more running back. 2 more wide receivers. Unless we just go 2 tight ends, 1 RB, 1 wide receiver, we could do it that way as well. A lot of times we'll do a 2 tight end build, but as time has gone on, I've just gotten more comfortable with the 3rd tight end. So, I don't know. We'll see how the draft shakes out. Johnson or Knox with the next pick? At least it wasn't Bill Burr, because he has been sniping us like crazy. I think Knox will probably fall out here. I also feel like Jalen Hyatt's kind of a fun pick. Giants play the Niners. Their secondary is pretty crappy last year. I don't know, man. I kind of like this team. Like, even just purely looking at week 3 based on matchups, I kind of like how this team has turned out. We're putting a lot of pressure on DJ Moore and Drake London to perform for this team. A lot of upside with Sky Moore, Zay Jones, and DPJ, but, like, I think that risk is worth it. A.J. Brown's kind of our hero wide receiver. We've got 2 studs at quarterback if all else fails. So, all right. Some people are going to hate this pick, but I'm going to pick Dawson Knox here. And we're just going to move right along. Thomas says Kincaid is a unicorn. Dual threat ahead of the game. Knox going to be blocking for Kincaid. I mean, I do think as time moves on, that will probably be true. But like I said, I just think that they're both going to get their share Knox has that chemistry, especially in the red zone with Josh Allen. So I still think as a late round value, he definitely holds that specific value. But I get what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, historically, over time, it does take a little bit of time for a rookie tight end to get going. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. The upside lies with Dalton Kincaid, but I still like Knox as a potential here and there scorer for the Buffalo Bills. Chase, Knox is the best tight end in the league, so can't complain. Jacob, 12-team half PPR redraft. Dak, Olave, DJ Moore, CMC Monty, Andrews, Hollywood, Mike Thomas in the flex. I mean, I'm not a Michael Thomas fan, but the rest of the team looks very good. I mean, I've been off on Michael Thomas for quite some time now. So, don't get me wrong, I get why people go after Michael Thomas. He's just not a player that I particularly want to take the risk with. So, other than that, team looks great, though. I mean, I'd be pretty happy with that squad. Half PPR, Monty and CMC, very good options. Olave, DJ Moore, obviously, you get a lot, and even Hollywood, a ton more value out of in PPR, but still perfectly fine in half PPR. Dak's fine. You might want a second quarterback on the bench just with the injury history. Andrews is going to have a much better year than last year. I think we all know that, right? All right, what do we need here? Another running back, another wide receiver. Not very pretty. All right, we're taking a heavy look at week 3. I think we just throw a dart at a Giants wide receiver. Randall Robinson or Darius Slayton are the options here. Jalen Hyatt's gone. Who's Carolina play? Terrace Marshall's out here as well. Play the Seahawks. I don't like that at all. I think that Seahawks defense going to be... And they were good last year. I think they're going to be even better this year. So, yeah, I think the Giants play the Niners. The weak part of that Niners defense is the secondary. So, Slayton or Robinson? I think I'm going to go Slayton. I know some people will disagree with that, but I think as a veteran wide receiver, he has a solidified role on this offense. Robinson is that upside type of player, but brings a little bit of risk, right? And I think that Hyatt could actually play a very similar role. So it's not pretty, but let's pick Darius Slayton here. And then with this next pick, we're going to go running back. Ezekiel Elliott is still a player you can draft. Jeff Wilson's out here. Chase Brown. I might just draft Chase Brown because Chase is in the chat tonight. Chuba Hubbard, Cordero, Patty, and Cheese. Those are your top options. Top available quarterbacks: Pickett, Young, Howell, Stroud, Ritter. I mean, honestly, not that bad options at this point in the draft. Top available wide receivers: Renfro, Robinson, Claypool, Marvin Jones, Richie James. Top available tight ends: Ferguson, Likely, Musgrave, Hurst, McBride. So, Chase Brown's gone, so we're not doing that. I know I just talked about not liking this matchup, but I do think that Chuba Hubbard's the best available player here. I mean, Zamir White's interesting, Pierre strong, even Patterson. If Chuba goes, then we're just sticking with our running backs. But I like Chuba as a late round guy. So I don't know. Chase says, I'd rather Chase Brown in the flex over Thomas. I agree. I mean, who wouldn't, right? All right, this guy's drafted back-to-back running backs. Maybe we have a chance to land Chuba. I mean, I think he's a good value here. I mean, he's found a way to be productive with CMC in front of him, with Donta Foreman in front of him, and we're looking at a week-to-week basis. We're not looking on a yearly basis, so I think he's actually a good pick here. Okay. Chuba joins the squad. So now we got Monty, Pacheco, Brian Robinson, Jamal Williams, Roshan Johnson, and Chuba Hubbard. Because I can show you guys. So Hurts, Fields at quarterback. We like that. There's your running back room we just went over. Late round running back build. Wide receiver is kind of a hero wide receiver build, but A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, Drake London, Sky Moore, Zay Jones, DPJ, and, Darius Slayton, the best wide receiver ever. Evan Engram and Dawson Knox sitting at tight end right now. So we've got A.J. Brown and DJ Moore, a little stack action there. I like this team. I think it's just fine. I think I'm going to go with one more tight end here at the end. I mean, who potentially brings the most upside? We got Ferguson, Likely, Musgrave, Hurst, McBride, Jelani Woods, Noah Fant. I'm probably just going to draft Noah Fant. Call it a night. Thoughts on Tajay Spears for Dynasty? I think in Dynasty, I'm perfectly fine with Tajay Spears. I think a lot of people out there are going to be perfectly fine with Tajay Spears. Okay, I mean, like, you're just holding him, seeing how the situation unfolds. He brings a unique dynamic, skill set to this offense. It's going to be very different from what Henry brings to the table. The concerns are he has some issues with that knee, right? But I like Tajay Spears in Dynasty just fine, man. I think most people do. Jacob, which team do you think is better? Here's the second one. Josh Allen, Olave, Evans, CMC, Pacheco, Pitts, Hollywood, and Dotson. Yeah, I mean, overall, that's the better team. I mean, I think Evans kind of loses that upside this year. I mean, I'd rather have DJ Moore behind Olave over Evans behind Olave, but overall, the second team's better. Josh Allen's going to be better than Prescott. Olave is your wide receiver one. We already talked about Evans, but CMC and Pacheco, I mean, that's very close. CMC and Monty. Hollywood's your same flex. You have Pitts over Andrews. Like, that's close. Probably like Andrews more, but it's still close, and Pitts is fine. Dotson, I like light years better than Michael Thomas in the flex, though. Chase just picked him up for free in waivers placed on my taxi. Yeah, that's a great... I mean, he should not be just floating around available. It's a great pickup for you, man. Great pickup for you. Thomas, something random. I'm hearing good things about Hunter Renfrow. I'll pass, but just saying. I mean, I cannot personally fathom drafting Hunter Renfrow. Because he was like my favorite late round guy last year. So I'm probably out. I still like Hunter Renfrow, I guess. But, yeah, like you're saying, I'm going to pass. He just burnt the crap out of me last. I had so many shares of Hunter Renfrow. He's like my favorite late round full PPR guy. And, yeah. Don't know what happened. Maybe he'll be better this year. Maybe he won't. All right, it's Fant or McBride. The Seahawks will be playing the Panthers. They're decent against tight ends. Cardinals will be playing the Cowboys, and they're probably going to have I don't know. Trey McBride will probably just be throwing to himself. I don't know if it really matters who we draft here. The upside lies with Trey McBride, I guess, overall on the season. So I'll take Trey McBride. I don't know. You really could go either way there. Someone drafted Spears in the rookie draft and then dropped. Wow. Thoughts on Pitts this season with Ritter? I mean, I think Ritter's going to be just fine this year. He has the pieces around him to actually have some success. The offensive line is not that bad. The defense has some sneaky players. They're still hurting overall. They have the pieces in place to be successful, though. I mean, obviously Bijan's there. Drake London's your wide receiver one. Don't get me wrong, they're a couple pieces away from being an offense we can 110% trust, but they're getting close. So, I think Pitts will, if we're looking at it from the quarterback perspective specifically, I'm not too worried about it. It's not like at the end of the day they were having phenomenal quarterback play with even Matt Ryan in Pitts' rookie season, but especially going back to last year with Mariota starting the year. So I'm not too worried about it personally. Chase, I want Pitts to break out so bad because my league mates rip on me for drafting him. Yeah, I mean, you can't really be upset. Like, if you drafted Pitts in a startup league, like you're saying, like, I mean, come on. The dude was, like, the best tight end athletic-wise that we've seen, like, ever coming out of college. So, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. All right, there's your team. Hurts, Fields, Monty, Pacheco, Brian Robinson, Jamal Williams, Roshan, and Chuba. A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, Drake London, Sky Moore, Zay Jones, DPJ, Darius Slayton. Ingram, Knox, McBride. I usually want one more wide receiver. But we were specifically looking at week 3 matchups. And I think we exploited some pretty good matchups. Bears, Chiefs, specifically. Eagles are going to have a good matchup that week. Lions going to be in a good matchup that week. Saints, Packers. Jacksonville, the Texans. I don't know, man. I feel okay about this squad. I like that idea of just looking at a specific week and saying, oh, there are multiple good matchups this week. Let's try and week 3 is like, you know, the NFL season takes a little bit of time to get going. Week 3, things could start firing. So I like that idea. Thank you, J-Dubs. Thomas, I just have so many shares of Noah Fant, and I'm like, I think that I will just draft Trey McBride tonight. But you know I love my boy Noah Fant. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, there's your team for the night. If you guys are new to Underdog Fantasy, you can, of course, double your first deposit up to $100 with promo code TheCatch. Promo link in the description down below. Promo code is on the screen. All of that good stuff. Guys, I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. Be sure to hit that like button on the way out. Check out our free Discord down below. Follow us on Instagram. Hit the like on the way out. And thank you guys for hanging out, talking fantasy with me tonight. Had a blast. I'm happy with tonight's team. Interesting build, but I think it'll be a good entry. And that'll wrap it up. It is late. I will have some content dropping for you guys tomorrow. I'm getting back on my grind. Going to be doing everything I can to be actually getting uploads out for you guys. And that'll wrap it up. Everyone be safe. Have a great Saturday. Have a great rest of your weekend. Love you guys, man. Love this community. Love the Catch fam. You guys know who you are. Thank you for being here tonight. Hit me up on Instagram, Discord if you guys need anything, Sleeper, whatever. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. With that, I will say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on The Catch. And